Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Everything Since. This time we break down the notorious, formerly OpTic Scump, everything since his time with OpTic. As per usual, if you guys do enjoy this series, make sure to leave a comment down below who we should cover next on the following episode of Everything Since. This one, though, when it comes time for Scump and everything since OpTic, stretches back all the way to last year in 2019. That being midway through October, where Scump officially announced his parting ways with OpTic Gaming at the exit after nearly a decade of playing with the brand. His tweet announcing the departure, which ended with "caught his life," leading to people to speculate he might join up with some former OpTic guys again, mainly Hector Rodriguez. Just 2 weeks later, Hector announced the Chicago Huntsmen roster for Call of Duty League, which of course included Scump and surprisingly his former teammate and T2P member, that being Formal. Despite their public falling out back in 2014, the introduction video for the new NRG COD roster also ended with Scump mocking former teammate Crimsix, who he allegedly helped force out of the old OpTic roster earlier that year.
I'll forget, but I'll never forget.
In November of last year, Scump got called out by Crimsix for whining about practice and avoiding scrims while they were together, formerly on OpTic. Scump fired back later on stream, claiming Crimsix was often late to practice himself and was actually late for Championship Sunday earlier that year. Also claiming on the side that he himself had carried Crimsix to the championship, cementing the bad blood between the two players.
Did I see Porter's tweet? I did. Holy shit, emotional. Literally carried Sunday. I don't want to hear it.
Later in November, Scump sat down for his interview with his organization where he called out Crimsix's Twitter beef as childish, saying that he would not take to Twitter to air out his own problems before stating that he and Formal, alongside Dashy and TJ, basically carried Crimsix to a lot of his career and tournament wins. He also claimed he wouldn't respond to the high school drama that Crimsix had started when actually taking to Twitter, which wouldn't remain true for long. To end the year of 2019, it was found out the success of Dallas Empire online was very strong when it came to scrims. Scump shrugged it off, though, along with his teammates, and said the Empire, yes, they are the best online, but online doesn't matter. He predicted it would be way different when they faced off at LAN, which they would do just a few weeks later to kick off the inaugural Call of Duty League season. Then in January to start this year, Scump finally revealed how he and Formal actually buried their beef and bad blood to reform Time to Pound, saying in an interview that they simply met outside a hotel after Scump's OpTic roster lost champs. Scump said he was tired of losing and tired of being yelled at, so he got a hold of Formal, and the two decided to return to their duo outside of OpTic in the new franchise league with the Huntsmen. And a short time later, that same Huntsman roster went on to win the opening Call of Duty launch weekend in the eyes of many, alongside other teams seeing success, but a huge opening series victory against their rivals, that being the Dallas Empire, where both, of course, Scump and Formal started yelling at Crimsix on stage after the match, the notorious choking figure as well. In interviews after the event, it continued as Scump claimed that he was in Crimsix's head and he was living there rent-free. And the next month, in February, Scump again, alongside the Huntsmen, claimed their second straight event, this time the first home series championship, with two dominant victories over the Empire, including a 3-0 victory, and in the grand finals again over Dallas Empire. After the event, and with 3 dominant wins so far over the Empire, Scump then accused Crimsix and the Empire of backpedaling and playing the victim card in their feud. With the games no longer going their way, Scump said the Dallas Empire started the feud initially, and so playing the victim card now seemed a bit weird, and a lot of Twitter agree with Scump and the Huntsmen. Scump continued to let his fans know about the bad blood between him and Crimsix at a meet and greet event for the Huntsmen, where he now has a semi-viral clip of him shouting "Crimsix sucks" into the crowd, reminding everyone that the feud still continued. But at the end of February this year, Chicago suffered their first loss in the Call of Duty League. They managed to scrap together a close win over the Rocker, but failed to make the grand finals. And after getting knocked out by the Mutineers, it was after the event where Scump admitted his team was off their game, showcasing to a few people out there the signs of cracks emerging in the Huntsman game. And then in March, with Call of Duty League and other esports leagues taking hiatus and moving to online following the LA Call of Duty event having to deal with coronavirus, it was actually Scump turning to former teammate Nadeshot alongside former pro Cloaksy to play in a $50,000 COD Warzone event. Scump had a huge game in the finals with 24 kills and led his team to a third place finish, but his old rival Crimsix, Clayster, and TP, well, they beat him out to take first place in the event. An event which, by the way, was dominated by Call of Duty pros and Warzone players were somehow upset by. And then in April came the notorious matchup in ESPN's annual poll. When it comes time for top gaming and esports personalities, Rainbow Six people know they are notorious for winning these online polls, especially when it came to a top R6 name in Pengu being matched up against a top Call of Duty personality as Scump. Well, it got very heated when it came to both their separate Reddits, but Scump's support was so strong, not only eliminating Pengu, who previously himself had knocked out Ninja, Shroud, and Super Smash Bros. Superstar Mango. Scump then went on to go all the way to the finals, matched up against Gataga, where he actually finished second in the entire poll, still proving he is still far and away the most popular player in Call of Duty and one of the biggest names in esports, period. Scump and the Huntsmen then face off in the Dallas Home Series event, the first Call of Duty event to be played online instead of on LAN. While Scump performs pretty well and the Huntsmen look good and solid in the first 2 rounds, they once again face off against the Mutineers and are once again handed a loss in the semifinals. Scump calls his team out for sloppy play and poor rotations, and the COD announcers agree as more cracks start to show in the Huntsmen lineup. And next up was the Huntsmen' very own home series to kick off and end the month, but the event turns out to be quite the disaster for Scump and his team. First, they lose to last place Subliners in their first opening series. Then after putting together 2 solid wins to get back to the semifinals, they get 3-0'd by the rival Dallas Empire. The loss knocks Scump and the Huntsmen out of first place, and with a win in finals over Atlanta, pushes the Empire up into the top slot, but Scump keeps it classy on Twitter, saying GG's to Dallas. Another quick deviation from Call of Duty League play comes in that same month as Scump joins up with Nadeshot and Symphony to create the kill record attempt when it comes to Call of Duty Warzone, all in effort to raise money for Courage. If you guys do not know, 100 Thieves Courage, unfortunately enough during this coronavirus outbreak, lost his grandmother and was doing a charity event. Although the trio fails to actually have the kill record attempt succeed, they do actually raise over $500,000 initially to combat the coronavirus, and eventually with Nadeshot's own donation, nearly $900,000 was raised for the cause. Which leads us to today. The Call of Duty League does continue, and so too it, guys. The rivalry between Crimsix and Scump, the Huntsmen versus the Empire. As per usual, we hope you guys all enjoy the series of Everything Sense, and especially when it comes time for a top name out there and personality like Scumpy, there's not much better than that. We will see where the Huntsman can go from here. Can he actually draw back on those former OpTic strings and bring them back to success? I'm sure we'll see sometime soon. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy. Drink your water, drink your coffee. I'll see you guys back here next time for another episode of Everything Sense. Until then, ta-ta.